I'll be honest, I've been watching JE Fusion like a hawk for the last 2 days. We got the promotional images for Shuriken Sentai Ninninger. Um, I would say, was it Monday? And I'll be honest, even though the pictures I'm going to be going over here are small and fuzzy, I'm still bloody excited. And I'll tell you, I don't think I've been this excited for toy designs and mecha designs since Magiranger, which was in 2005. The last time I was really enthusiastic, though, well, no, 2005 was pretty much it for me. Like Magi King and Saint Kaiser and Trevelyan, is that right? Yeah, and Wool Kaiser were awesome. Magi Legend was a piece of shit. We all know it, and less said about it, the better. Though the less you bring it up, maybe it can be forgotten in the annals of history, and we can all pretend that Magi Legend never happened. But that being said, 2006 rolls along, and we got Go-Go Sentai Bokager, which, for the most part, I actually liked most of the toys that were in Bokager. They were fair. I didn't think too much of the personal weapons, of which, by the way, we never got two of them. Those giant bucket scoops that Boken Yellow was using were kind of hilarious, and I kind of wanted the water gun that Boken Pink had. But it was it was good for the most part. The mecha designs, they started out good. Well, no, that's not fair. The Goku Gaitai Daiboken, it started out strong as a standalone toy. It's great. It's not until you start bringing in other accessory mechas, certainly the Siren Builder and the Dai Voyager. When you start bringing those in, then the cracks in the Daiboken's armor start appearing. By itself, Daiboken is not bad. It's when you take into account everything else that it has to do, okay, that's where we have a problem. We end up with things like the Super Daiboken and the Ultimate Daiboken, which very much emphasized the term, or very much brought to the forefront the term, was it Clusterfuck Megazord, or Clusterfuck You Up Megazord, however it was back in the day, which is fine, so whatever. But and then it just kind of fell off. Bokanger transitioned into Gekiranger, Juken Sentai Gekiranger, fantastic show. If you ever get to, if you want to sit down and have a damn good Super Sentai, watch Gekiranger. It's almost an atypical Super Sentai, but it was done. The show is so well done. There were very few things they did wrong in there. Ironically, Gekiranger kind of holds a special place for me because the toy line, I wasn't thrilled with it. I really wasn't. I got I own the, what's it called? The Geki sword. What's that thing called? I can't think of what it's called. The shark sword. Geki Sabers, that's what they were called. Which is fine, okay, whatever. They were small, they were simple, they were to the point. Basically, it looks like flatware, except for toys. And then you had the Geki Tonfa, which was technically was their standard handheld weapon. Or personal handheld weapons. You could hold it a couple of different ways, and it had nice little gimmicks. It had light and sound in one piece, and then had a moving bit in the other one, and it had kind of foam, collapsible plastic. I don't know what it is. I can't say vinyl. That doesn't sound right. But I still don't have Geki Tonfa, but I kind of wanted it. And really, those are the only toys I wanted. I did at one time have a deluxe Jungle Pride Megazord, but despite the fact they removed the electronic, or they removed the lights from it, I don't care about that. Although Glowing Fist was kind of amusing. I'm not a big fan of Geki Toja design, and yet I have the, what's it called, the Retrofire Jungle Pride Megazord, and I really still want to get my hands on that Super Robot Chogokin Geki Toja. Not because the transformation was engaging, not because it actually looked good, not because the gimmick was all that engaging, more on that later maybe, but because it was a strong emphasis on mobility, agility, being fast, like a ninja, for example. So Gekitoja kind of surpasses in that regard. Really, you hadn't seen anything like that in Super Sentai since maybe the Senpujin Harrier, however you choose to say that. There's a couple of different ways. Yeah. That was kind of an emphasis, but then again, that was a secondary toy that didn't transform, and they kind of did some TV magic transformation for it. So, I mean, Gekitoja, I tried to get in the Geki Fire, and I actually had the Jungle Master Megazord, the deluxe version, and just kind of, I hung on to it for about 2 years, and it just kind of, don't care anymore. So I got rid of both of those. But to this day, I still like the if you can get it on like eBay or some other auction house or wherever it is, don't pay top price for it, or actually you don't need to because it's not really that expensive. But if you can ever get your hands on the Transforming Fury Megazord, and that's the one that I reviewed for Collection DX a number of years ago, if you could get the Transforming Fury Megazord set, you won't be disappointed. Yeah, they removed some paint apps, and yeah, they removed some functions, but overall, I still think it was Bandai America's, like, the Transforming Fury Megazord sets, or whatever they were called, whatever the individual sets were called, came immediately after the disaster that was the Drive Max Megazord. And by disaster, I mean disaster, because the not Gekitoja, the Drive Max Megazord was the first time that they didn't import a Megazord ever. They decided to do a mecha line all by themselves, and Men in America, we were thinking, what the fuck were you guys? What? And then, for whatever reason, ever since then, the only one that AV Unit 4A, will actively support is the Transforming Fury Megazord from Jungle Fury. That's the only Bandai America, well, let's be honest, Bandai Creation original Megazord toy design that is seen in the show that was converted. They made a smaller version, a less complicated version. That's the only one since 2008, when Jungle Fury came out. That's the only one I've supported. All the others have been shit. They really, really have. And yes, I know that also includes the Legacy Dinozords. Which, when we first got it, we were like, what the crap were they thinking? It's a nice reboot, but there were still some things we complained about. Oh, look, they added die-cast metal. Okay, it's still cool. They kind of redeemed themselves with the Legacy. I'm getting way off topic here. But kind of the gist of it is, since 2006, in Super Sentai, not Power Rangers, and fuck Power Rangers, I don't know how it is, that show is still going. Since 2006, when Magi Ranger ended and Bokenger began, I have not been enthusiastic for the mecha. I really haven't. The only reason like I just said, the only reason I'm enthusiastic for Gekitoja in particular is because A, there's so many toys of it, and B, it's so articulate. It emphasized, even the deluxe version kind of had the arms could spread out to the side, even though a tiger could not move its arms in such a fashion. The transformation was real simple, but I really like the idea that Toei and Bandai of Japan and Plex were trying to convey with the Gekitoja was really solid. I just wish the transformation had been a little more involved somehow, because it was too simple. But then again, that's another argument for another time. So when I say that I'm bloody excited for this Shuriken Sentai Ninninger stuff, I started having hope. That's a word I haven't said since 2006, because it's just been downhill ever since. Go Under, okay, whatever. I actually got most of the mecha, not all of them, but I got most of them. And I also got, I got one of the roleplay toys, although I think there was one other I wanted that I didn't get. Samurai Sentai Shinkenger, which honestly I think Bandai Toei and Plex were trolling when they made each of those words start with the same syllable. I'll be honest, I thought it was amusing, although maybe only American audiences would appreciate that. I'm talking on my ass when I say that. But Samurai Sentai Shinkenger kind of brought it back. They did something unique. They did something different that was purely Super Sentai and not just kind of an imitation of Super Sentai, like Goanger, like Ghost Sager, and kind of like not Bokanger. What's that called? It's the anniversary show we just had. What was it? The one with the pirates. Kaizoku Sentai Go Kaiger. Kaizoku Sentai Go Kaiger. Those, like, I was just kind of getting less and less enthusiastic over the years. Just, yeah. But Shinkanger kind of brought it back. Absolutely with the Samurai Gatai Shinkano. That thing was pretty damn neat. And some of the role play stuff was nice. I've already, said my piece about the origami line many times now over the years, so I kind of have to leave that alone. But that's kind of it. And Shinkanger was in, what was it, 2009, I think? So this is a long time coming for me. People have been wondering, Ava, why aren't you reviewing anymore? Ava, why aren't you... Well, yes, part of it is, yes, I have been diagnosed with depression. And I've also got some physical ailments I will not discuss. But and don't bother asking, because I won't answer it. Just know that they're there. There is the depression, there is some physical stuff happening, but, and I've also got other issues, but why am I not reviewing? Because there's nothing to fucking review. There really isn't. Ghost Sager was kind of the one that killed it. Killed the franchise, was Ghost Sager. The toy line was confused about what it was misdirected. It didn't know where it was going. Collecting the heads, swapping the heads, I don't know how that was an effective gimmick. I don't think it was well received in Japan either. The roleplay toys, there was some nice interaction between... This is a very long preamble, I know I need to start talking about Nininger, but Ghost Sager kind of showed how... What's a good word to describe this? Showed how disconnected, or I don't know, how out of... yeah, I guess disconnected would be fair, that Bandai, Toei, and Plex were becoming with their audience. I don't know how... I'll be honest, I'm a 32-year-old toy collector. I don't get to talk to Japanese children. I don't. Because, A, I don't understand a lick of what they're saying, beyond some catchphrases that I catch once in a while in a Super Sentai, if I watch them. And I don't know any. So I don't know how Super Sentai gets received. Not reviewed, received. I know how it gets reviewed. I'm one of them. But that being said, I do know some of the mindsets of some collectors, and I seem to be amongst the popular, or not popular. That's not fair. The common voice saying this stuff is screwy. In terms of collectors, adult collectors paying for their own stuff. In terms of collectors, we are the ones saying that these things are crap. How are the kids receiving it? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. In fact, my last audio, whatchamacallit, was removed because I had a collector's point of view that apparently got in the way of somebody trying to sell a toy. I don't know how that works. I think it might have been a scam, but I'm too scared to fight it, and really at this point it doesn't matter anymore. But I can't say I've lost faith in Super Sentai. I haven't. Because I can look back at the previous 35 years. Well, actually it's 38 at this point. I can look back. Is it 38 or 39? I think it's 38 years. Yeah, it'd be 38 years. And there's a whole slew. And before Gekiranger, I'll say, there was a lot of good stuff. Good stuff that came out of Super Sentai that still works today. Okay? I'm not just saying this from the nostalgia point of view. But if you compare some of those toys way back when to the toys that are coming out now, if you look at the Live Robo, if you look at the Flash King, if you look at the... What's another one from pre-Power Rangers? It doesn't really matter, I guess. The Daijujin, which is MMPR, which is the Legacy Megazord, MMPR Season 1. If you look at Kakura Daishogun, if you look at Muteki Shogun, Ninja Megazord and Shogun Megazord, respectively, if you look at all these things, all the way up to 2006, there's some damn good stuff in there. And that's not just nostalgia talking. Yeah, we might not get things like the Flash King was among the last of the Super Sentai Robos to have spring-fired missiles. You don't get those anymore, which is totally wrong, Ava, because they had spring-loaded fists on the Super Galaxy Mega, which was the Astro Delta Megazord. So I totally lied about that. And then there was the Mega Voyager, which had the spring-powered rocket thingy, which was very much neutered. So that's what I'm looking up, and I kind of did this rant before when I did my review of the Gosei Great for Collection DX. I did that 15 minute long thing, and I said I'm really disappointed with where Bandai and Toei and Plex were going because this stuff is shit, and they know better. It's just getting too simple. It's getting too worn out. People were saying, "Oh, they're starting to repeat. They're running out of ideas." No, they're not. If the pre-screen pictures that I'm seeing for Shuriken Sentai Ninninger are anything to say, I think Super Sentai still has a lot of life to it. They just need some redirection. They need to stop looking at the bottom line here and start concerning themselves with how to engage their customers, because they're not. They kind of overcompensated by giving us the header gimmick. They overcompensated by giving us engine souls, by giving us hidden discs. They overcompensated, and by overcompensating I mean those three examples I just gave. They're all examples of where the toy mecha are able to equally interact with the role-play toys, which up until, let me think, yeah, I think it was Gekiranger was the first one where the mecha were directly had something where you could take a piece of the mecha from the toy and you could plug it into one of the role-play toys. I want to say Gekiranger was the first one to do that. I'm pretty certain it wasn't Gekiranger. In fact, I know it wasn't Gekiranger. But that's kind of where things started getting screwy. There were two things that screwed up Super Sentai. One was limb swap. I give Gekiranger a pass. I always give Gekiranger a pass because they did it correctly the very first time. Gekiranger, they did limb swapping correctly. Not just the gimmick, but each of the individual accessory, what are they called? Power animals. Each of them did something interesting as well, and their transformations were engaging, and they just looked really, really neat. That's my chair squeaking, by the way. So I give them a pass, but there was limb swapping, and then there was the economic downfall of the world financial crisis. So those were two big things that impacted Super Sentai, and we've basically had the fallout since 2007. 2007 being when Gekiranger started. Is that right? No, I'm sorry, 2007 when Gekiranger started. That's when the design started getting simple. And I think they hit bottom with Goseiger 2 years later. 2 years later. I also think that despite having a reputedly good reception for Tokumei Sentai Go Buster, the mecha designs were still kind of crap. There actually are quite a few people who say they're good designs. I don't think they're good because it's part swapping. But that's just my 2 cents on the matter. Wow, this is a really long preamble. Yeesh. So I've seen the promotional poster for Shuriken Sentai Ninninger. We got that teaser poster, whatever was. Here it is, right here. Look at this thing. They don't look 100% like ninjas, but those costumes look great. I'm loving the designs of the helmets. I'm loving the designs of the sashes that they're wearing. I think one of the biggest things is that we have both a pink and a white ranger at the same time who are both female. That has not happened since 1986 when Changeman was on the air. That's the last time we had that happen. That's amazing. I didn't think they were ever going to do that again. Granted, we didn't have a purple ranger like Geki Violet purple. We didn't have an orange ranger like whatever his name is from ToQger. I don't even care. What's his name? Build. I don't care. I know nothing about ToQger. I read a summary on it in Wikipedia, was it last night, just for the hell of it. I read it. It was like, okay, that actually sounds interesting, but damn that toy line. No. I have no interest in ToQger whatsoever. And it's going to come and go, and I'm not going to shed a tear when it does. I think the only thing I would shed a tear over is that unbelievably nightmarish looking black colored bad guy train thing, which looks like which basically looks like Super Sentai meets H.R. Geiger. And here's a mecha that comes from H.R. Geiger. For those of you who don't know, he's the guy who designed the original Alien for the horror movie, the horror sci-fi movie way back when. Way back when. Don't date it like that, Ava, please. So, that's the only thing. And by the way, that thing is like $300, and I'm never going to get one. That might be the only thing that I'm going to shed a tear over. But why the hell couldn't we have gotten something amazingly badass and evil looking for the regular toy line? That's what I want to see. I mean, Woolkaiser would not have happened. We got Woolkaiser. I don't give a shit what this thing is called, but that thing from ToQger is just like Woolkaiser from Magi Ranger. The only difference is that thing in ToQger is $300. No. I am going to shed... I'm generally going to get some moisture under my eyes when ToQger ends and I can't get one of those things. It's going to kill me when I don't get that. Anyways, having a pink and a white female at the same time, that hasn't happened since Changeman, which was... 9 years before Power Rangers? So, that was I want to say that was the only time they did it, but that doesn't sound right either. I'm not certain. But anyways, I'm looking at these designs, these Ranger suits, and they look great. I like it. Because it's not doing Kakuranger all over again. It's not doing Hurricaneger all over again. They're starting from scratch. A Sentai themed around a handheld throwing star? That's... okay. And the fact that the helmets, each and every one of the helmets is slightly asymmetrical, especially the Red Ranger. Now, I know from... let's see... yeah, the names of the Rangers, they're using Japanese names. Purely Japanese. Well, no, that's not true. Aka Ninja, Ao Ninja, Kini Ninja, Ki Ninja. I read that wrong, I'm sorry. Shiro Ninja and Momo Ninja. Those are the colors. They're not saying Ninja Blue, Ninja Red, Ninja Yellow, Ninja White. No, they're actually using the Japanese word for those colors. So you got to get used to that. I will say, though, that the sword... what was the name of the sword? Shinobi Shuriken. It looks like... the Shinobi Shuriken is... has an air of the... I don't remember the name of the blades that the Hurricanegers used, but it looked like that. They look like that. You'll notice just above the hilt on each of the swords that's actually on the actual blade, and unfortunately I can't zoom in any closer with this. Oh, I'm getting tired of this editing program. You'll notice there are 3 colors there. I think those are going to be buttons on the top of the blade that you have to press. So you're going to press one of those because supposedly the Rangers are going to be color swapping just like they did with ToQger. I don't know why they're going to be swapping, but they are. I think what's going to happen with the toy, because I don't think we actually have a picture of the toys here, or at least the roleplay toys. But I think what's going to happen is you're going to press a button on the what's it called? Shinobi Shuriken on the blade itself, and then you're going to and then you're going to squeeze the trigger down on the actual handle of the sword, and then it's going to make its unique sound. I also think we're going to be getting some of the what are those battery things from Gekiranger? I don't care. I don't know anything about Gekiranger either. Ava, they got transformations. Yeah, the first one did, and the first one looks ugly, and then no, I was not enthusiastic for Gekiranger either. Like the first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, that looks kind of cool," and then I thought about it for 5 minutes. I'm like, "Okay, that's not cool." But I think we're going to have kind of an up. I'm guessing there's going to be an updated version of the heat end discs that are going to be used in a Ninja, where you're going to have a piece of plastic, hollow plastic. You're going to slap it onto a toy, and then it'll have like unique little tabs or whatever it is, just like the heat end discs did, except it was on the underneath the hollow side of the disc. It's going to be more or less the same thing here. I think you're going to slap that onto the vehicle, or you're going to slap it onto the roleplay toy, and then unique sounds will come out of it. That was kind of the thing that I wanted in Shuriken, but unfortunately, it just didn't turn out that way. Oh, you had the black box. That's a great name for that, by the way. Saban brands. You just called it the black box. Really? You couldn't? Okay. So I don't have a close-up picture of the toy, because like I said, all the pictures I'm going to be showing you here are they're all coming from JE Fusion, by the way. Who got it? I don't know where they got it from. I'm sure it's listed in here somewhere, but these pictures are really fuzzy, and I do apologize for that. But so far I'm liking what I'm seeing. I really am, and I haven't said that for since 2009. And before then, 2006, and before then, 2005. So I'm really excited. Just this one picture that I'm showing you here of the Rangers, that says so much. Now the sorry, I hate to use the word, the Megazord in the background, it's looking a little busy, and that concerns me a bit. You know what? Maybe at this point I should just transition over to the, my 2 cents on things. So, for my own sanity, I'm going to blow these pictures up larger, just so I can see them. Of course, they're not going to get any larger for anybody. And, let's see. Nininger. Okay. Here we go. So the first picture is the Shuriken ShurikenJin. I thought it would have been kind of hilarious. There's a rumor floating around it's going to be called the Nininger, which would have been great. If only they'd had the guts to call it that. That would have been great. Now this is a very fuzzy picture, and the clearer ones will probably show up in a day or two. So is it just me? Well, let's see what this says. At first, the DX Shuriken got a ShurikenJin. Oh boy, that's going to be interesting, because there actually is a ShurikenJin in Hurricaneger. Will consist of 5 mechas, mainly the Shinobu Maru. I'm not certain which is humanoid. The Drago Maru, which is a dragon. The Danpu Maru, which is a dump truck. Wait, what? Wait, huh? A Wanmaru, which is a dog. A what? And the Bunmaru, which is a train. I'll tell you. Now, I saw these very fuzzy pictures, but I didn't read too much detail last night when they were starting to trickle into the internet. That is a very... I'll say the same as pretty much everyone else's at this point. That's a very bizarre set of mecha. I mean, already, it's getting weird. A dump truck and the Shinobu Maru, I'm hoping that's how it's pronounced, is, obviously the ninja, and he's going to be the, it's kind of nice to have a mecha where the other 4 rangers are just piloting, animals or vehicles or whatever, and then there's the Red Ranger, presumably is piloting a humanoid mecha, sub mecha. It's kind of nice. That's they haven't done that for quite some time, so that's good to have around again. It very much brings to mind the what was it called? Mega V1? Was it 1? Yeah, because 5 was the pink, well, white one. Yeah, Mega V1, which I think was the same name in Japan. I'm not certain. In fact, I know it wasn't. The Mega V1 from Power Rangers in Space, the Mega Voyager, that was the last time. I think. Let me think. Because it didn't happen in Lost Galaxy. Well, Lost Galaxy, or Gingaman, they gave it to the Blue. Ginga Blue had the humanoid mecha, kind of. Because then there was the Ginga Galkan, which didn't make a whole lot of sense. It's a falcon, and yet it's got arms and a that doesn't make any sense. So okay, that's a nice thing to have. A dragon, well, you have to have a dragon. A dump truck, okay, we're getting weird. How does a dump truck fall into all this? What? A dump truck? This is weird. Now, this is a very, very, very fuzzy picture. Like, I hold my fingers up to it. This picture on my screen as I'm looking at it, as I'm recording, is not even 2 inches tall, or well, it's maybe like 2.5 inches tall by like 4.5 inches wide. That's as big as the screen gets. It's going to be much more fuzzier in the slideshow that you're seeing right now. My guess is that the dump truck is going to form the torso and the right arm. What's it called? I gotta keep referencing that. Shinobu, the human mecha, looks like it's just going to is going to use the dump truck as a throne, and it's just going to sit in the chest. Because if you look at the promotional picture, you can see it there. You can see the fists of the Shinobu Maru actually sticking out of the chest, which is kind of weird. So that's what I'm thinking is happening with the transformation here. And then let's see, which one is it? Byunmaru. I cannot roll my R's, I apologize. Which is a train, I think is going to do more or less exactly the same thing that the Geki Snake? No, not Geki, oh, Jesus. Gosei Snake, I apologize, is going to form, one whole leg and then half of the other leg. And then the Wanmaru, which is the white dog, is gonna be like Gosei tiger, or is it lion? Oh my, I can't remember. Is going to be like the Gosei tiger, where it just forms from the knee down, or it might do the thing that Gao Armadillo did in Gao Ranger, where it just forms. The train will form both legs, and then the dog will just kind of sit in a little pocket somewhere in there. That's kind of whoa. Wait a minute. Oh. Okay, I was mistaken. Yeah, it looks like... Oh, wow. Yeah, it looks like literally the dog is just going to like fold one or two pieces, like fold the legs up, fold the head up, and it's literally going to fit into the front of the leg, and that's it. So that train is going to be huge. That train is either going to be really huge, or that dog is going to be really, really tiny. So that is... Oh, okay. I'm also noticing some other things here. At the top of the picture, you see these shurikens that... There's a red one on the left side. It looks like the top of the head, the helmet, is formed by... Let me check. Where is that? Oh, okay. This is interesting. It looks like we're going to be doing the Gosager thing, where not the head of the mecha, but how do I describe this? It's going to be like, how do I describe this? The the shurikens that each of the rangers has on the front edge of their swords, like I was describing earlier, it looks like those things actually come off of the swords like a heated disc, but then they kind of unfold, or there's something inside of them like a not a heated engine soul. So it's going to open up, and it looks like there's going to be an LED on the LED and sound or something on the inside, and those shurikens. Looks like that's going to be your swapping gimmick. That's so we're kind of getting a combination of a bunch of different things here. We're getting a piece. What the heck? Oh, boy! I really wish we had clearer pictures than this, but I'm in such a rush to get this out that I don't give a shit. I just want to comment on it right now. It looks like the shurikens are actually kind of a ring shape. Like a thin plastic ring that fits around I don't know, some sort of reading device maybe, and then that combination, because if you look in the middle there, you see that red ring on the left, and then you see a blue shuriken ring on the right, and then there's some sort of green, white, and multicolored thing in the middle. And you notice that it's pointing to both of those, and then those point to the top of the head of the mecha on the left side, and then the top of the head of the right on the mecha. So it looks like those discs, or the shurikens themselves, I doubt they can be thrown, by the way. They'd break too easily. Unless they made them out of foam, in which case I'd protest too loudly. That's interesting. Okay. Wow. Even with that super fuzzy picture, I'm kind of able to pick these things out. Oh, I'm getting excited. This is good stuff. I'm liking this. Whatever the detail that we finally get of and I just blanked on the name of it again, the ShurikenJin. I gotta get used to that. Whatever it turns out to be, that's an interesting gimmick. I'm starting to like that gimmick. And what's also interesting, I want to say, let's see. Recent scan. Oh, okay. I'm looking at JE Fusion here. The main gimmick, and I quote, the main gimmick of the mecha is similar to O-Ranger Robo's helmet change. Excuse me. The main gimmick of the mecha is similar to O-Ranger Robo's helmet change, where different shurikens can become ShurikenJin's helmet and give the mecha different attributes. So, for those of you who are not in the know, the O-Ranger Robo is the Zeo Megazord. So which, by the way, I thought was an untapped, or kind of, O-Ranger Robo design was kind of a prelude to Gekiranger. Gekiranger kind of took it to the next level. Rather than just a helmet or a mask of some kind, we got a mech that actually provided some armament of some kind, which I thought was a logical step. I don't think the execution was the greatest, but the idea was something I'd considered a number of years before. Oh, sure, you considered it before, but sure you did. Well, no, yeah, seriously. So we're actually getting kind of a repeat of that. But I cannot outright say, and I'm not going to outright say, that this is going to be a copy of O-Ranger. I think it's just the helmet swapping looks like that's not a bad idea. I kind of like the idea of you don't need an entire mecha, because I'll tell you, telekinesis and rockets and lasers and using a sword and getting additional physical strength, you can imagine all those things with your mecha, with your toys. You don't have to have you don't have to have a mecha of some kind associated with that. No. Granted, as I said earlier, Gekiranger kind of did it right. But again, that's the limb swap era. That's something different. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Fuzzy as this picture is, I'm liking this. I still can't figure out what that kind of dragon-looking thing on the right side is. I guess that's the third mode. Let's see what this says. It's strange. They say here the Shinobu Maru, which is the humanoid robot, is the torso. I don't think so. I think it's involved in the torso, but I don't think it's the entire torso. I'm not saying that. I think the dump truck forms both an arm and the torso. That would be my guess. And then let's see, I'm having to go between two different articles here so I can kind of read what they've said and then look at the pictures myself and see, okay, is this working? Oh! Shinobi Shurikens. Okay, those are the discs. Just like the Shinkenger Hiden discs, the swords are activated by setting the shurikens. Okay. Voice and LEDs in each. With each of the 5 Ninninger's shurikens will be capable of forming the head of their main robot as well. Wow! Cool. Cool. Sweet. Okay, that works for me. Okay, so that explains why the head seems to be so big on the think of it, Ava, what's it called? The ShurikenJin. That's why the head looks like that. Okay. Alright. Oh, I can live with that. All right. That's still a very bizarre alternate mode on the right side there. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. Is that supposed to be a dragon? Oh my god. If the heads are designed to swap, does that mean that each of the mecha is going to have... Is this going to be a 5 changer? Like if the red shuriken is attached to the head, it becomes the ShurikenJin. If the blue one is attached to it, it becomes that kind of dragon shaped thing. Well, what happens if the yellow one attaches, the blue one or pink one changes? Does that mean that this is a 6 changer? Oh my god, my mind. If that turns out to be blue, if it turns out to be blue, yeah. If that turns out to be true, my mind has just been blown. And 6 Shot from the Transformers franchise ain't got shit on this. If it turns out to be true, I could be totally wrong in a couple of days when we get the clearer pictures. Forgive me. But oh my god. That would be amazing. How would they do that? Whew. Looks like the arms change up a little bit too. I can see the left arm looks... Oh, maybe instead... Well... I'm not sure. We don't have a clear view of the dragon's head, so it's difficult for me to say if that is the dragon's head on top of that alt mode or not. You know, going back to Ghost Sager for a moment, I up until that point, I'd always wondered how Super Sentai would deal with a snake. Because I'd always had this image, for whatever reason, of a sub-mecha being a train, and the reason you would just, where would it go in the combination? I always thought it would be the hilt and scabbard of a sword, like the Shinkino would, or like the Shinkino? No, like the Daireno, the original Thunder Megazord MMPR Season 2. I thought that's what the train, or that's what the snake would be like. Is it would actually, you wouldn't be able to articulate it in toy form, but you could pull the head off, and the head would actually be the pommel of the sword, and the blade would be concealed within the body of the snake. That's what I thought it was going to be. And then they turned it into a train, which they'd kind of already done that whole, they basically did a repeat of Goandra. Let's not go there, Ava. And so, I kind of want them to do a snake again, just to see what happens. But, yeah. Now, granted, there's not a lot of... it's ironic. I think Bandai Toei and Plex just broke their own franchise, because whenever you have a pink ranger, she always has white highlights, and whenever you have a female white ranger, she has pink highlights. They're literally having to I can't really say crossbreed, but they're having to, the was it Momo Ninja has primarily pink armor, and she has white highlights. And then what's that other name? I'm gonna screw it up. Shiro Ninja. Don't care. She will have white armor and then has pink highlights on her. It's a joke, and I'm telling it very poorly, but it is kind of ironic. Why was I saying that? Oh yeah, because the train, which obviously if you're going to do a train, it's going to be a high-speed train. Um, Looks like only like a third or a fourth of it is actually pink, and the rest of it is black and red and gold and red. So okay, fair enough. We'll see what happens. The dog, though, it's too small. It's not even like my cursor is slightly smaller than the picture of that dog there. I have no detail on it whatsoever. It's just kind of a white blur. Looks like it has black ears on it. So maybe it's a panda. No, it's not a panda. Huh. I'll say this much: the ShurikenJin is not what I was expecting Ninja Mecha to be like. On the other hand, the what was it called? The Senpujin didn't really conjure up ninjas either. So the was it the Storm Power Megazord from Ninja Storm didn't really conjure up the image of ninjas either. Likewise, the Muteki Shogun basically looked like a palace that transformed into five different robots that transformed into a single robot. Why the hell wasn't the Muteki Shogun a triple changer? It changed into a palace. Like why couldn't it have done that? I haven't seen Gekiranger, mind you, but why couldn't I hope they do that someday. A building changing into five separate robots changing into a single robot. I hope they do that someday. That I would like to see that. I want them to do the Muteki Shogun properly. Maybe this is it. So this mecha, the feet on this thing look really big, by the way. That's a little disconcerting. This looks like a bulky design, and it's almost like they're attempting the what's it called the Shinken O a second time. It's almost like they're trying to do that over again, except without the sharp angles and odd folding paper aspects of the origami. It looks like that's what they're trying to do here, which I can't say I disagree with. I'm liking this. This is good stuff. I'm liking where this is going. Like I said, it's fuzzy. I think I've said that a couple of times now. I'm excited here. This there's actual transformation involved here. That to me is kind of the key thing. I don't think that like the humanoid form. I can't see it very well. I think he's just going to kind of collapse at the waist, and that'll be it. That's probably going to be their cross mecha design. It's not just going to be the shuriken sitting on top of the heads, but it's also going to be the chest swap thing. They kind of did the chest swapping thing with Magi Rangers, just they didn't really exploit it as much as they could have in the show, at least, because Trevelyan could chest swap. St. Kaiser could chest swap, and oh god, the Magi Legend, which I said I was not going to speak of again, could also do a chest swap, but they really only did it between. Magic King could also chest swap as well. The only time they really exploited that was for Fire Kaiser combo. That was kind of it. So it looks like now this is just a guess, okay? I'm guessing that the humanoid form that sits in the torso of the Shuriken-jin, there may be something extra there. There may be some extra parts that come out, and something else, another mecha that we have not seen yet, will slip in there later on. That's my guess. Okay, now moving on to the mecha. There's the Pao in Paun Maru, an elephant-type mecha that can also transform into a robot and can become an armor for the DX Shuriken-jin and arms with a broadsword. Yes! Yes! Triple changer accessory mecha. Yes! Yes! Absolutely! This is what Gekiranger should have been. This is what Shuriken Mecha should have been. This right here, like Gekiranger, okay, whatever. That was breakthrough alone as is. The accessory mecha becomes a robot. Oh! There it is, right there. I was just thinking about. Okay. Oh wow. Oh my god. Okay, so I was right. I haven't seen these pictures yet. Oh my god. So it turns out I was right. I just proved myself right. The oh god, okay, I haven't learned the names and I keep kicking myself for this. The Shinobu Maru, I gotta get used to saying that. The Shinobu Maru is removable from the chest, and it's removable because the accessory mecha also turn. I wonder if they're like little statues, kind of like what was it? Different franchise, Kamen Rider Kiva. It had the arms monsters or whatever they were. Which, by the way, the only one of those I got was the Garulu saber. Basically, it starts out as a statue you could set up on your mantelpiece or whatever it is, and then it transformed into a weapon. It looks like the same thing's going to be happening here. I'm guessing. I would find it difficult to believe that they're actually going to turn these. I don't see any of the accessory mecha, at least not the two that are shown here. I don't imagine that Toei is going to have a separate actor in a separate suit, and he's going to be on stage right next to the Shuriken Maru. Or no, ShurikenJin. I don't see that happening. I think it's just going to be a little. It's basically going to be like not the Minizord, the Furai Maru from Hurricaneer. It's just going to be a CGI character, and it's just going to, hey, look at what I can do, and it's going to shoot something. Kind of like they did in Gekiranger. The Furai Maru shows up, he throws a bunch of weapons all by himself, and then he combines. I think it's going to be a repeat of the Gekaiger's version of the Furai Maru. I think that's what we're going to be getting here, except now they transform into an alternate mode. Holy shit. I can't tell what kind of weapon the ShurikenJin is holding. Maybe a pair of large broadswords? Or axes? Those look great. I'm sorry. Those look awesome. Oh, wait a minute here. The right arm is different. What's this called? What's this form called? For the elephant, when it's combined, the right arm looks different. It doesn't. The yellow arm is different. No, I can't tell. It's too small, but it looks like the right arm's different because there's a lot of white on there that isn't in the other mode. There's a lot of for the right arm usually on the ShurikenJin. It's gold and it's red and it's black. But in this combo with the elephant, what's it called? Maru? Pound Maru? The right arm is primarily red and secondary white. Not the mecha, but the arm. That's very strange. Because, and I'm also looking in the next picture, the one right below it, for the UFO Maru. Oh my god. Oh my god. And the arm also looks different there as well. We already know, I'm already guessing that the arms can limb swap just because of the nature of the transformation. I don't think this is going to be associated with a limb swap season, but there's Oh, I see it. Okay. Go back and look at this one. If you look at the left arm on the right side of the picture, if you look at the left arm, you see there's a bunch of white there. So it looks like, well, the arms don't swap or flip around. How does that work? It's almost like the arm disconnects from the socket, flips around 180 degrees, and then plugs back in. Is that just me? I can't tell. I'm not certain. Because I also see what looks like some sort of animal leg or something in there. Wow, this is amazing. This is getting awesome really quick. Okay, and now for the one that makes you go, what the fuck? The UFO Maru. This mecha line is bizarre, like the Hurricaneer line was. That you almost want to call this a Japanese knockoff. You've got all these random vehicles, animals, and concepts floating around all over the place, and it's like somebody migrated from China, a bootlegger of some kind, migrated from migrated from China to Japan, brought their wacky ideas with them, and Super Sentai decided to run with it. That's what this thing looks like. A UFO? Which, by the way, also changes into a humanoid form. That's like what's that name? The name of that one franchise, Bakugan? Is that right? Where they have those spinning tops, that you do in a little arena or whatever it is, and you can pack them full of die-cast metal and different kinds of plastics. And what's their catchphrase? Let them rip, or what? I know nothing about it, but basically, I'm getting an aura of that thing on this. This is great. I don't think it gets any stranger than this. Although, famous last words. That's amazing. I love that. And it looks like it's like a sandwich. It's like a lopsided Oreo. It's just kind of, one layer stacked upon another, and the way you transform it is you take them apart. That's great. Oh my god, look at that. That's amazing. Wow, it's just these few pictures, but I'm loving this. I don't mean to you know, UFO type mecha that can also transform into a robot and armor for the DX ShurikenJin, and arms it with a 3-barreled cannon. Oh my god. So we've got a humanoid ninja. Okay, fair enough. We've got a dragon, which everybody loves dearly. We've got a dump truck. What the fuck? Immediately there. We've got a dog, which has never happened in Super Sentai, by the way. I think there was a dog mentioned in the list of the 100 Beasts in Gekiranger. I'll have to go back and look later. And then there's a train, which, okay, I mean, that's basically like saying the Daidingen? Legacy Megazord is made up of dinosaurs, when in fact it has a mastodon, which was nowhere near the age of the dinosaurs, and a saber-toothed tiger, which was, it's that kind of weird mashup. And then you've got a dragon, and then you've got a brachiosaurus. It's the same kind of thing. It's not that particular mecha line was not made up of dinosaurs. It was made up of ancient animals, we'll say. This is kind of the same thing. I guess in Super Sentai they like to think that ninjas are kind of a wacky thing, because now we've got an elephant, which, how does that work? And we've got a fucking UFO. What the fuck? And it's not bad. I do not see this getting bad. Well, I'll say that now. But I cannot wait for these high resolution pictures. Like, I'm gonna go crazy, and I'm gonna keep going crazy until I see those high resolution pictures. I'm gonna refresh this one page. Maybe they've gotten an update since. See, are there higher resolution? No, there are not. Okay, so yeah, in the last, holy shit, how long have I been recording? An hour. Holy shit. I'm loving what I'm seeing here. This is great. I can't stand it. They hit the right mark. I think unless the show itself tanks miserably, I don't see this going wrong. I think they actually. I genuinely think here, ladies and gentlemen. Should I just say gentlemen? I don't know. I think Super Sentai's back. I think Bandai Toyplex got their shit together. It's not an obvious parts former. It's not an obvious simple transformation. Now I say obvious. I mean, we'll find out later when the higher resolution stuff comes out. I don't see this being a simple transformation. I think the reason they use the dump truck is because the dump truck is going to be the torso, because that way you can put you can put smaller mecha into the bed. The dump truck is not just forming the arm. I think it's also is not just the arm. I think it's forming the torso primarily and an arm as well. Oh, I'm getting excited. I think at this point I'm just going to start rambling on and on because I only have 2 pictures to work with, and I haven't seen the. Maybe I should hold this recording and hold on to this recording and then make another one when we get the higher resolution stuff because this leaked just today. I think they're going to because we don't have we know the henshin devices according to let's see. Shinobi Shuriken are the discs, or are the things that swap back and forth, which form helmets, which is brilliant. And the Shinobi Katana Best Sword, which is a sword weapon changer of the series. This toy includes the red Shuriken for such and such an amount. And there's the Gamma Gamma Gun. Gamma Gamma Gun! There's the Nin buckle. I never got the belt buckles. I just And then there's the 5 Super Ninja Tonin Shuriken. I don't know what that is. We do know for certain that the henshin device. Well, is that right? Okay, we did. Maybe they've changed this. But the last I read, the henshin device was going to be was going to be a scroll. If you watched Gekiranger, which was the last time they did, let's be honest, it's the only time they did this. It wasn't their henshin device, but it was the device that they used to summon their mecha. They would use a scroll that was made out of actual, paper. Parchment, whatever you want to call it, whatever the toy was made of, I don't know. You'd grab a ring on the side and you'd pull it out, and it was on a spring, so as soon as you let go, it would close back up. That's what I was told this was going to be. But I think if what I'm reading here in the announcement here is correct, it looks like maybe they're going to be going the way of Gekiranger, where the Rangers are going to be using one of the roleplay weapons as one of their regular weapons as their henshin device. I'm just glad. I'll say this much: I'm just glad it isn't another fucking cell phone. If it's another fucking cell phone, that might be the one flaw in what I've seen so far. That might be the one chink in the armor. Chink in the armor? I don't remember. Beyond that, I'm committed. I think this is what I needed to get back in the game. This is encouraging. I'm bored out of my mind, necking futs, tired of SDGO and well, I started Minecraft 9 months ago, something like that. And okay, whatever. But I've been doing SDGO and nothing but for the last 3 years. Now, to be fair, there's been a lot of Gundam happening in there, so that kind of balanced it out. But I've basically been playing the waiting game for the last 3 years, waiting for Super Sentai to come back properly. And I think this is my moment. Ava, where have you been? Why aren't you doing reviews? Because Super Sentai toys have been shit for the last 3 years. I was killing time by playing SCG. I'm killing time by watching Gundam and getting deep into that franchise. I've been killing time by playing Minecraft. I've been getting depressed and I've gotten a part-time job. That's what I've been doing, and I might collect a toy here and there. But my funds are very limited. If this pans out, you could be seeing new reviews from Ava Unit 4A at CollectionDX.com once again. If this pans out. Now, I said the same thing of what were they called? The Go Buster toys. They looked encouraging, but they were a little bit on the parts swapping side heavy. I said the same thing of Go Sager. So, and obviously we'll be getting better pictures as time goes on. But that being said, I think I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. This is 3 years of anxiety and pent-up frustration coming out here all at one time. This this might be it for me. I think Super Sentai is back for me. I need something like I needed something that harkens back to the good old days, and yes, something fresh and something new and refreshing. And I think UFOs and elephants and dump trucks and dogs, that works for me. I'm repeating myself. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. This is what I need right now. This is what I'm craving. And it doesn't look the least bit Chinese bootleg. I'll be honest. There were actually some mecha designs coming out of China. There was one that came out in 2013. I don't know what it was. It was their own Super Sentai. It was it was like an 8 or 9 man team that they had, and their mecha designs were just, you could tell that China was basically struggling to make their own Super Sentai, but it's at the same time they're also struggling to get away from the bootleg, rip-off, knock-off kind of stuff. So it kind of had that feel, but at the same time there were some really interesting things happening there. I kind of wanted to get those things. A lot more than I did, dinosaurs and animals that you can remove the heads on, which are actually vehicles, which has absolutely nothing to do with... I'm ready. Shuriken Sentai Ninninger, you're pressing the right buttons. You're absolutely pressing the right buttons here. I think I need to go change my pants. This is AV Unit 4A saying, thanks for tuning in. Oh, God, this is going to take me forever to upload to YouTube. Ugh.